North Franklin Township building here in Franklin Farms. The North Franklin Township zoning here board would consider a request for relief from Ordinance 1, 1997, Article 12, Section 1207, Paragraph D. Community Bank is proposing to install business identification signs in the rear of the building located at 211 North Franklin Drive, located in the C2 zoning district. Any aggrieved property owner wishing to testify may do so at that time. So that's will be June 26th at 7 p.m. So just to
follow up to that, they're starting to
move, yeah.
some of their departments in, I think, this month, and I know the commercial loan department that's uptown Washington would move in July. Martha, does Harold contact the zoning members and let them know?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Does he secure the services of the stenographer, or do you do that? He'll take care of all that.
He did the ad and everything.
We'll just do a follow-up to confirm that he's notified everybody, because the last two meetings, we didn't have them.
We didn't have a quorum, but now remember, we did put Barry Bloss in as an
Right.
alternate member of the zoning hearing board.
Let him know that.
So-
But also confirm that he has secured the services of the steno, too. Okay?
We should do it.
Okay.
We can't have that.
New business. Okay,
Do we
road.
have to vote on that or not?
No, there's no vote on that right now. No, they're going to do it. I just was informing. Okay, road repair, new business road repair bid award. Motion to award the 2018 road repair project to Morgan Excavating. I don't know if, Rich, you want to add any more?
Yeah, it just depends on what you guys, I mean, we got base bid and 4 alt bids, so just, basically no matter how you slice it up, Morgan ends up being the low bidder, so it just depends on, they're not the low bid and everything, but when you add them together and
It's
the
the lowest.
combination, including the base, they end up being the lowest.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of which ones you want to do.
Does anyone have a list of the base bid streets for the public so they know what they are?
They're on that sheet,
Is there on there some?
Yeah.
whatever they.
I'm sorry.
Base bid, it's all.
Yeah, it includes Terrio, McKinley, Oak, Taft, Wilson, Roosevelt, Stream, Old Park, and Doris.
Doors. That's the base bid. Now, the others, there's alternative bids on that. So I don't know if you want to add anything more.
No, everything checked out, all the numbers added up. For the first time in a long time, we had no errors in the bids.
No errors.
So that was good.
Okay?
And actually, they were pretty good prices.
No, it was really
They were
pricey.
Very good prices.
So do I have a motion to award the 2018 road repair project to Morgan Excavating? I'm making a motion.
And I'll second.
Which part?
Yeah.
We're only doing number one, the base bid
The base
first.
bid
Let's do them
first. Let's do it separately. The base bid first.
For $157,371.
Right. Okay, do I have a vote on that, please? So,
Second is Bob.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Yes.
Mr. Junko?
yes.
Mr. Passalacqua?
Yes.
Mr. Savage?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're going now to the, go ahead.
You want me to do it, or you want?
Go
me to
ahead.
do it?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to do alternate bid number 1, which includes improvements to McElreath Road to Morgan Excavating in the amount, is that right?
Is that the way we're doing it? They're not the low bid on alternate one.
No, but you have to, that's why I'm saying.
But we have to go with it.
We have to.
You have to award the base bid with this. I mean, I think it makes more sense to decide, well, what you want to do and do them all as one
One. That's what we're doing.
bid, base bid plus whatever alternates. That way your total ends up being, Morgan's the low total, but they're not always the lowest for each
Just the alternate one.
one. But you can't award the alternate without awarding the base.
Right.
Based on that, I think we should withdraw the former motion. Right?
That would make most sense.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to rescind the former motion. And we're gonna have to redo it here.
Reword. Reword it. Okay. Take a vote on that.
Mr. Junko?
Yes.
Mr. Savage? Mr. Passalacqua?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's go now.
I'll make a motion to award the bid to Morgan Excavating for the base bid, including alternate bid number 1, number 2, and number 4. Does that sound right? Okay, number 4 is Green Hill, number 2 is Oak Street Extension, and number 1 is McElroy, added to those other ones in the basement.
I think you got it right, didn't I?
Okay.
Second.
So, all right, vote.
Mr. Junko?
Yes.
Mr. Passalacqua?
Yes.
Mr. Savick?
Yes.
And just on that matter, I mean, we have been in communications with Mark West.
I know.
McElroy. And there's a chance they may make a contribution.
That's what we talked about yesterday. I said at least if you award it, then they could reimburse the township for
Right.
whatever
Right.
would be
So,
done on that.
we're working on it.
I know, that's what, hopefully it comes through, but his bid was about the
They
best.
said they don't use it every year.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Okay, I guess, next one, you want to talk about repairs?
Where I guess it's a gas company. Every time we lay down a nice brand new blacktop road, the utility companies can't wait to come and chew it up. It just seems like after a while there's dips, so we got to come up with some method of making them come back and smooth it over and make it the way it was originally.
That's tough.
Who's doing that?
This was,
Tony again?
yeah, Columbia Gas, the water utilities is bad, but I think Rich can attest to what happens there. Every time we seem like we redo a road, they come in and we checked it out before asking if they had any improvements and so forth. They say no, and then all of a sudden they come in within a half a year later, and they're tearing up again. And that's why you got your,
That's right, West Baden was the worst street we had.
The scheduling's
Years,
tough,
years,
because
years.
they change theirs constantly, but what's happening? I mean, is it should be back to what it was. They shouldn't have,
it's-
there shouldn't be any dips, there shouldn't be any ruts or anything. If it is, they need to fix it.
I think we'll be on Ridgewood, with Ridgewood. Okay, I think we discussed also the fact of there was a motion, but it's really, we got to do some research on, I think with Matt, our zone, is sort of a grass leaf ordinance, but questioning Matt and Jared, I guess we were trying to get other townships and see if they had anything in regards to grass. We're having a lot of trouble with people throwing grass on the streets and leaves during the fall, and our catch basins are just getting filled. I mean, it's constant. We're cleaning out, and it's gotten to the point where we were considering some kind of an ordinance, but I think we have to research that a little bit more. It's not, we haven't, other townships don't have it, but I'm just saying, it's just gotten to be a real big problem. And especially with the heavy rains that we're getting and the flooding. I don't know, Dave probably sees it too on some of these outlets with the fire department and so forth. And it's gotten, with our road crew, it's just gotten to be a real hassle. So I guess we're going to have to go into this a little bit more in depth to discuss as far as creating an ordinance and maybe getting our planning commission or whatever to go through it. You hate doing it, but people are just blowing grass on the streets and don't care. They don't blow it away. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
It's easy to point your lawnmower the other way and blow
Yeah,
it in the yard.
blow it in the yard. But so that's one thing we're looking into at this point. I guess moving on, we'll go to the malfunction authorization form. Gary, that's what Martha was talking about. You want to?
Why don't you recite what the issue is, and I'll jump in.
Okay. This property is on McElroy Road, and the one individual septic tank is leaking. And it's leaking onto the neighbor's property. And the only way that the sewer council can go on that property is if the township gives them authorization to go on. Because in the event they go on that property where the accusation has been made, if they go on there and they do not find a problem, then the township is billed the $130 fee. So, but they won't even go on unless the township agrees to sign off.
Yeah, my recommendation on how this should be handled is, if you get a complaint that someone's system is malfunctioning, you need to get that in writing, okay, a written complaint. And then the next step is, I would send someone on the road department possibly to that property just to do a quick visual. Because if you can smell it or you can see it, I mean, there's a good chance it's malfunctioning before you do the authorization sending the sewage council out. So we can eliminate, from a percentage standpoint, the possibility that there's no malfunction and we're gonna have to eat the review.
Well, the sewer, this is the form from the sewer authority, the council.
I know, but I like the township
Oh, okay.
to do a quick drive-by just to say, well, this complaint looks legitimate. Because if it wasn't malfunctioning, we have to pay their inspection fee. Whereas
He
if
felt
it's
pretty-
malfunctioning, it's on the property.
He felt pretty sure that there's a problem there, so
Yeah.
he didn't proceed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think in the future, though, get it in writing,
Okay.
send somebody out to take a look.
Okay,
That's good, the authorization.
okay.
Okay.
I guess we've had a call on our police chief force, so I'll go with our fire department. Dave?
Okay. We had a call too, so.
Oh, really, same time, yeah?
Yeah. For the month of May 2018, we had 31 total calls. We had 9 fire alarms, 2 building fires, 8 accidents, 3 medical calls, 8 public service, and 1 odor of natural gas. We average 5 persons per call. Year to date, we've had 188 calls, which is 31 calls ahead of last year at this time. A couple issues I'd like to bring up from the fire department is the flooding on Chestnut Street. I know I talked to Mr. Pat Salacqua about it and Mrs. Ward the other night. This year we've been to Chestnut Street 7 times through May, and I know we've been there at least 3 times this month. We was there twice Saturday. I know it's an ongoing problem that nobody wants to take responsibility for. We sat out there for 3.5 hours Saturday night waiting for PennDOT to get there. We're wasting our resources and our guys' time sitting out there. We're burning fuel that we have to pay for. So I think the issue really needs looked at. Someone needs contacted, and somebody's got to fix the problem. I don't know, it's starting to wash out Franklin Farms Road as well now.
Yeah, on the backside.
Yeah, so we sat out there, and Canton Township sat out there as well because it's flooding their side of the road, and it's supposed to rain tonight. We'll probably be out there tonight, and it's just wasting a lot of our
I got
time.
in touch with Jim Gutman. It was a marathon. I think part of it is on his property, and part of the line is on Rite Aid.
Okay.
They gotta deal that thing out. The best solution for them, they always say, let's split the bill. It's gonna be high,
Yeah.
because the guys that pumped that other inlet out, their bill was $120,000. So this is gonna be a pipe from one end to the other. It's gonna be 10, 12 feet deep. Have to put them things up to.
Yeah.
It's gonna get into a big cost. So that's why everybody's wiggling a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's been going on for well over a year now.
Yeah, right.
And like I said, it's not taking much rain to get us out there anymore.
Can we cite them that, can the township?
That's where I am.
Yeah. Let me just bring you up to date. I got a phone call today from John Mounts. He'll probably be calling you if he hasn't already.
I talked to him this afternoon.
Okay. Mr. Gutman is trying to run from this.
I just talked to him. yeah.
Apparently, he's been told this is gonna cost $1 million to fix.
It's not gonna be cheap.
And so now he's trying to put it on someone else. And John's initial call was, hey, isn't this a township problem? Don't you own the stormwater pipes and everything? And so I quickly hit all my emails where you did your investigation, and he said, I didn't know any of that. Well, the other thing is, I initially was contacted by Gutman's attorney at Buchanan Ingersoll.
Talked to him twice.
Okay. Well, John Mounts didn't know that
Yeah, John had
an
no
attorney
idea.
was involved. He said, I think you guys are mowing the same grass here, you know, it's, And so I explained to him what was going on, and I said, just because it's a stormwater pipe doesn't mean it belongs to the township. You can show me a deed of dedication or a formal resolution where we took it over, that never happened.
Well, he said the Gutman deed lists the storm line as an exception. But
What does that mean?
Yeah.
it's listed as an exception with an easement, but it doesn't have a reference. Like, there's no, that's why I talked to him. I said, I'm an engineer, not an attorney. I said, but, you know, he's in agreement with me. It's like, if you find a piece of paper that said it was dedicated to this, so, I mean, just having an exception doesn't mean anything unless you got something that says who accepted it. So I,
Did he say that they got the results of the camera work yet?
He didn't say that. All they did is from what he told me, was they did the boundary survey and everything, and it was on the Marathon.
The blockage.
The blockage.
Yeah.
I think it's
Camera.
collapsed. My understanding was collapsed.
I think so, and it's
It changes
collapsed.
pipe. It goes from concrete to galvanized.
Yeah.
Then it's collapsed.
It's huge.
It's a tin whistle and it's collapsed.
They ran that pipe from Franklin Farms Road 94 feet where they hit the obstruction.
He said it was, that he thought it was on Gutman's piece.
Does Gutman own the Rite Aid property too, or does Rite Aid own
I think
that?
Rite Aid.
Rite Aid.
See, I think Rite Aid has now really turned up the heat because of their big the cave-in on their,
Yeah, and
and it
Yeah, they-
apparently must be associated with that.
you would think.
You would think.
Who knows?
Yeah. It's a mess.
Is there someone else who we can get in contact to get something moving forward to?
Well, let me say, I just want to say this one thing. I appreciate what you're saying you have to do. And everybody in this room, I think, can understand what our problem is here too. The township, we could go in and fix it and build it, but there's not one member of this board who will do it, and we're not going to do it. It would be wrong, because we'll never see the money. Hell will freeze over before we'll see that
Right,
money.
agree.
And so that isn't happening. It is on private property, and furthermore, it's on a state road. And I have said for a couple meetings now, we need to cite them. And that's where I still am, but I've been trying to play nice here, letting these guys try to figure this out, but
They're
it's
stalled.
embarrassing. I mean, it's right on our main drag.
Oh, it
in the
is.
Who do we
township.
cite? Rite Aid and Gutman?
Well, it's one thing to issue a citation, but if they took us to court, we'd have to prove who the violator is, and we still don't know that. We still don't know where the obstruction is. Nobody's really
And we just
disclosed that.
heard, but I haven't seen any videos. I don't know any facts.
Unless we want to bear
No.
the cost
Of
of
doing-
doing a camera
No.
inspection.
No.
No, Robinson already done the camera, and I'm
They
sure
already
that's
did that.
So I think they already know where it is, and they don't want to tell us because it's proof that it's on their
They got it,
property.
they got it marked. There's-
I mean, the angle today was,
Paint
well,
on it.
this is a stormwater pipe problem, and the township owns all the stormwater pipes. That's basically what I took from it.
But you know, it's funny, PennDOT's not getting involved because it is washing away that road. Eventually, it's gonna go
Has
under.
PennDOT been there? Have they been notified of the problem?
They call
We
Phil.
call them every time we go out, they come
Yeah, I
out.
call
And
PennDOT too.
they're to the point that if it's not a steady rain, it's gonna last for hours, they won't even come out because by the time they get there, the water's receded.
Yeah.
And there's not much for them to do. Now, the other night it didn't recede, and
No.
it took them 3 hours to get there.
Yeah.
You know, granted, there was other emergencies in the county, but,
So what's being damaged by this is a state road,
Yep.
not our
Yes.
township.
No,
road.
not, it's.
Franklin Farms and-
And the only thing we have there as far as a township asset is the basin. Is the basin in the road right away? Is that our basin?
No.
No, that's
Not
not.
in our basin?
No, no.
That basically, they go on.
So our involvement is because it happens.
It happens to be
it
lying
happens
on
to be
our
because
township.
the township,
Township.
and our residents drive that road.
On the wrong side of the road, if it's on the other side of it, you can't.
Eventually, that's gonna kick.
I mean, every time, we've had cars stuck in there every time we go out there.
And that's-
At least one stuck in the water every time. so
Oh, yeah. And it's just an expense on us. That's what gets us. I mean,
There'll be some way to put a little pressure on them guys somewhere.
With that being said, the other night we had trouble, Sue was out there getting cones or anything to barricade the road.
it's dangerous.
We had some barricades in the police department that got washed away out there and run over and destroyed. So, we would like to see purchased, if you guys would, 6 barricades. We looked at prices are like $100 a piece. We would be willing to house those at our station. We're in the process of converting one of our trucks into a utility vehicle that they would be carried in with some other safety equipment. And not to just concentrate on Chestnut Street, but we've had other times we've had to close different roads, being trees down, wires down. We're doing some other emergency. We could use them for that as well. So it's not just concentrated on the flooding on Chestnut Street. So it would be used. Like I said, we'd be willing to keep those at our station, our vehicle. If the police would need them, they would just have to contact us.
So the other
We
ones
would
are
get-
gone?
Yeah, they're gone.
I make a motion.
Those were ones that weren't purchased, they were inherited.
Yeah, I mean,
From
we,
somewhere.
somewhere we got it. yeah.
But, like I said, we looked up some, and they were like $100 a piece.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and furnish you guys with that.
Second.
How many are you gonna buy?
Six horses.
At approximate cost. of
Approximately
$600.
$100, yeah. And, I'll put it
Mr.
up.
Junko?
Yes.
Mr. Passalacqua? Mr. Savick?
Yes.
One other item I have, I talked to Martha. There's an Act 172 out there. It gives volunteer firefighters a tax break if the municipality or township is willing to adopt this act. I think it would be an asset to our fire department to give our members a break. You can either do your earned income or your real estate tax. Earned income would give everyone a member or a break. We have some members that are young, don't own property in the township. It's something that you set up between the township and the fire department, work out what you want to do. One of the reasons being, maybe to encourage us to get some new members. Our membership's getting older. You can see we have average 5 per call. That's not very many guys if we have a fire. So we're short on help, especially daytime, and we're all getting older, and we put a lot of time in. We can get more people in this act. It can even be qualified for helping with fundraising, our bingo, our gun bashes, just work at station. So I'd like to see you guys look into that, possibly adopting that to give us a break for the work that we do for the residents of the township.
I think so.
I'm familiar with this,
Really?
all townships are looking at it. There's a form resolution, Martha, do you have
Martha's
it?
gonna look at it.
Yeah, there's a form for you guys to look at and approve.
I know Canton Township has adopted it. Martha's
Anyway,
been
we
in
can
contact with
All
them.
the townships I'm familiar with.
Good.
So,
All right,
Thank you.
Back to your other issue, the one we were talking about. Can we make see how this sounds in general, can we make a motion to instruct the code enforcement officer to cite the, whatever parties need to be cited based on the direction of the solicitor and the engineer as to who is
We gotta find out
responsible?
first.
Yes,
We
so
gotta
I'm saying
find out
based
first.
on that. Once they find that out, go ahead and cite them.
And look for a violation. Yeah.
If there is a violation,
Yeah.
to cite them.
I mean, we'd have to have evidence, but yeah.
Okay.
Is that fair motion?
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll second my motion.
Okay, all in favor, vote on it, please.
Mr. Junko?
Yes.
Mr. Passalacqua? Mr. Savick?
Yes.
Gotta do something.
Yeah,
It's getting crazy.
Gotta get up that side.
one other thing, if it's okay, can we go ahead and
You're on a
purchase-
winning streak, so you want to keep going.
Can we go ahead and purchase the barricades and give you guys the bill?
Yeah, they gotta
and
do
you can
it, yeah.
reimburse
Yes.
us?
Take care of it.
Yeah, you got more money than us.